Today we're going to be comparing a Mooer GE200 to a GE250. What's up everybody, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Taylor, and I do all sorts of guitar related stuff like this on my channel. If that's something you enjoy, make sure to subscribe and click the bell notification icon so you don't miss any of my uploads. So I've been getting a ton of comments asking me, what are the differences in between the GE200 and the GE250? Does the GE250 sound better? So I thought I'd make this video so that way we can look at some of the differences between the two units, and then at the end of the video we'll shoot out both of the units, both in a mix as well as soloed. So that way you can hear exactly what's going on with the guitars and make a decision for yourself whether or not you think the GE250 sounds better or not, or does, or not. Whatever. Now, I haven't had much time with the GE250, and I will be doing a full review on my channel, but in the meantime, I thought I'd just do this so that way I can answer some of those questions and comments that I've been getting. A couple of things that I noticed right away is, first off, there's a new GE Studio for the 250. The new GE Studio reminds me a lot of the HX Edit for the HX Stomp. I find the interface a little bit more user-friendly and a little bit easier to navigate. Another huge addition is the effects loop. This means you can use it in conjunction with any outboard gear you might have or other pedals, or you can use it in the 4-cable method configuration with an amplifier. It just adds so much versatility to the GE250, and it's something that I think was a really smart move to include on this unit. You also have a Dsp Monitor, so you can see how much of your processor's power you're using, and that way you can kind of gauge whether or not you want to add more effects or whether you need to start cutting things out of your chain. There's independent volume knobs for both the Xlr outputs and the 1/4-inch outputs, which is great because that means you don't have one master control controlling the volume that's going out to front of house and to your amplifier. You have 2 extra effects buttons which are user assignable, and although they're kind of limited in the effects that you can add to them, it's still a really cool feature to have 2 extra user-assigned effects. The addition of the Xlr outputs in the MIDI was also a huge improvement over the GE200. This means the GE250 can not only be controlled by MIDI, but can also be used as a MIDI controller. And the addition of the Xlr outputs lets you use balanced cables either going out into a mixer or going into your audio interface. They've also included a power switch on the GE250, which, although minor, it was kind of a big gripe with me with the GE200 because it just felt really weird plugging in the unit to turn it on and unplugging it to turn it off. And the biggest new feature in the GE250 is the tone capture feature. With this feature, you can capture amplifiers or, kind of whatever you want to run your guitar signal through. Okay, so those are just some of the cool new features that are included with the GE250, but what everyone wants to know is, does it sound better than the GE200? I think you guys might be surprised. I was totally surprised with this one. So just like my normal shootouts, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reamp a DI signal through both of the units, and I'm using the same exact amps and cabs with the same exact settings on both of the units. And I'm not using any extra processing like the global EQ on the 250 or anything like that. This is just the raw guitar tones coming out of each of these units. And for this demonstration, I chose 2 of my favorite amps from the GE200, the Black Knight and the Slow 100. So what we'll do is we'll A/B the guitars in a mix, I'll throw in some soloed sections, and yeah, we'll just see what the differences are, if any. And we're gonna do that right now. Alright guys, what do you think? Were any of you surprised at the sound difference in between the GE200 and the GE250? Let me know down in the comments below. I was super surprised. I thought these things were gonna sound near identical. I was just really blown away with how much better the GE250 sounds. Not only with how much better it sounds, but with how much improvement they made in the cab section of the unit. If any of you out there own a GE200, you've probably noticed that when you switch tubes or microphones in the cab section, that it doesn't really have the sort of impact that you would kind of expect it to have if you were switching out those microphones or those tubes in real life. And they've really taken the time to do that in the GE250, and I think that that's the majority of where the difference in the tone is coming from, is from the cab section. Alright guys, if there's any amp models that you want to see shot out between the GE200 and the GE250, let me know down in the comments below, right after you hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And as always, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe, click the bell notification icon, leave me a comment, say what's up. I really appreciate you guys, and hopefully I answered some of your questions as to whether or not the GE250 sounds different than the GE200. And look out for my review on the GE250 in the future. I will go into more detail on the differences and what's going on with the GE250. And yeah, I think that's it. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.